you all better know me as Mr. Flipperhouse, and today I'm going to be doing something very, very special, and I decided to bring along a guest with me today who's actually a very, very dear friend of mine. He actually came through my program, implemented all the strategies that I've actually coached him on doing, and he went on to close 30 deals part-time, guys, in his very, very short career. Today's video is going to be about what hedge funds don't want you to know about. And I'm sorry I didn't give the viewers your name, but his name is Larry Troop, and he is an active investor right here in the Tampa, Florida area, making it happen. And one of the reasons why I'm bringing him on today is because he's going to be able to give you some of his inside experiences dealing with hedge funds. Alright, so about a couple weeks ago, I did a very, very short blog on all the pros that you get when dealing with hedge funds. Well, today, you know, it would only be fair for me to let you know the cons as well. So today we're going to be talking about some of the cons of working with hedge funds. And I think that this is going to be a valuable lesson. So make sure that you're tuning in and that you don't go anywhere for the next 5 to 10 minutes. So Larry, I appreciate you coming on here, today's blog, talking to the people, giving them your inside experiences of dealing with hedge funds. Now, over the past 6 or 7 months or so, you've been dealing with a hedge fund, correct? Correct. And you've had some success dealing with that hedge fund. Correct. Can you let the people know exactly what you did in order to start building a rapport, building a relationship with this particular hedge fund?
Well, first of all, TJ, thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to work with you as always. For those in YouTube land, please make sure that you subscribe to this page and make sure that you check out all his videos. This man knows absolutely what he's talking about. Dealing with the hedge funds, you know, you're going to try to make sure that you get with an acquisition person. Okay, the acquisition person is going to be the gatekeeper or the door opener. Maybe it's a realtor or maybe it's someone on their team. I've actually worked with a few of the hedge funds, not just one, but a few of them, and their main thing is bringing them properties that are somewhat of a cookie cutter fashion. Okay, they all buy different properties, but you want to make sure that you're creating a spread for yourself that's pleasing to them. Okay, because when you're dealing with hedge funds, they don't want you to make too much money unless you know someone on the inside that can give you a little bit of break. Okay.
Right. Well, that's one of the whole goals of bringing you guys this video right here, is to give you guys some insight on how you can start making your time more valuable when dealing with these hedge funds. Because the last thing that we want to do as wholesalers is give up all of our time, and for us to do that, we don't get what we're supposed to get in return for our time. So let's kind of get in to letting the viewers know what are some of the cons of actually dealing with hedge funds.
Well, that one, when I just mentioned about dealing with a gatekeeper, dealing with acquisition people, not the actual buyer, the guy that can actually pull the trigger and say, yes, I want this property right now. We go ahead and get the escrow money right now. Because most of the time, you know, most of the buyers that are here in the Tampa Bay market, they're able to pull the trigger immediately. Now, when you're dealing with a hedge fund, they need at least 10 days of inspection time. So who wants to go ahead and give 10 days of inspection time? You know, you have 1 day to inspect the property, sir or ma'am, and deliver the escrow within 24 hours.
Right.
Okay?
Right. And pretty much, guys, what he's saying is, you know, once again, you know, usually when you're dealing with buyers or investors, they usually like to close quickly. Some of the serious players out there usually like to close within a week. if you have a really, really good relationship with them and you tell them that you need to close on the property earlier, they'll go ahead and close on it earlier. So hedge funds, number one, they do not react right away, meaning that they won't be able to get back with you with a definitive answer whether they're going to go ahead and follow through by purchasing this property from you or not. So when we are actually dealing with hedge funds, guys, like you said, you know, you're going to be dealing with an acquisition manager. Of course, the acquisition manager now just becomes another middleman in the deal, which means he has his hand in the pot. So, of course, naturally, your profits aren't going to be what you think they're supposed to be. And we all have this big misconception that dealing with hedge funds, just the word hedge funds lets you know that they have tons of money. And we all hear that they overpay for properties. Well, in a sense, that's true, but they're very, 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 very picky, guys. All right? I actually had an opportunity to work with a hedge fund, but it just didn't work out in my particular situation, simply because I devoted a whole week's worth of my time trying to go out and you know, serve these guys properties that they're actually looking for in their particular neighborhoods, and they did not follow through on either one of my deals. So that was pretty much the end of the straw for me. But as you see with Larry here, you know, and other different investors, they are having some luck, but you know, there are some cons of dealing with hedge funds. So what we want to talk about, you know, right now is what are the proper steps, or what steps did you take in order to align yourself with the hedge fund?
Well, calling those companies up. I called a couple of those companies up and asked, you know, who is the acquisition guy? How do I get in contact with them? Some of them are actual realtors. They make you go through realtors, and the realtor will submit the offer. They say if you have a property under contract, they'll submit it to the hedge fund person. They don't want you really talking directly to them, and that means that, you know, they're trying to manage, some of it is they're trying to manage their time, and secondly, they don't want to have their hands, how can I say it? They don't want racketeering.
Yeah, well, of course, they wouldn't want anything like that to go down, and we definitely don't want to be a part of anything that's may jeopardize our reputation and our career as well. So I know that, you know, hedge funds claim that they want to buy, you know, 30, 40, 50 properties a month. And that's just what I was about to get into. Hedge funds, guys, are just like anybody else.
Right.
Okay? All right? They have the liability not to close on the property. All right? And just to get into that, I know that you've been bringing them numerous of deals. How many deals have you brought them, opposed to how many deals have they actually closed on?
TJ, I would say it's plus, the margin is plus 40 as far as the deals that I brought them. And I probably had maybe about six closed deals, about 3 walkaways, where they've actually backed out on the deal on me on the last minute. Now, this is something that not just myself, but other realtors, other investors within the city of Tampa, or maybe across the nation have dealt with. Somebody needs to ring the bell on these guys and let them know, hey, you're destroying relationships, you're destroying connections with, you know, other investors, and that's not a good thing, especially for a newbie investor. Newbie investors, please understand that you don't want to put yourselves in this position in which you're destroying contacts, you're destroying relationships, because your name is your brand. And once you destroy your brand, guess what? As soon as a person sees your name on a contract, whether it's an REO agent, any type of agent that's going to be submitting offers for you, they're going to take your file and they're going to tear it up. They want to deal with people who they know can close.
Right.
And I had this happen to me maybe about a week ago, T, where I was actually dealing with a hedge fund, and we sat for hours in the closing room waiting for the money to be wired. when it should have been wired a long time ago.
Right.
You know, so I mean, you're dealing with that the aspect they got you.
Yeah.
They have you under control to a certain extent.
Right.
Because you're just a wholesaler, and
right.
they feel as if they have many more wholesalers that are willing to bring them a deal when you're not.
Right. Absolutely. And that's a really good point, guys. You want to make sure that when you're dealing with these hedge funds, okay, that you pretty much lay the law down for them. You tell them, this is how I'm going to operate. All right, you tell them, hey, we're going to use my closing attorneys. We're going to use my title company. Because as he said at the end, since they do have the buying power, they do have some sort of leverage over you in the deal. But that still shouldn't, keep you from gaining some sort of control in the deal as well. And the best way that you can do that is make sure that you close with your own title company. You close with your own closing attorneys, because a lot of these hedge funds, they use title companies and closing attorneys that they built relationships with, and they're on their team.
Exactly.
So they can pretty much let them know, hey, look, we got this deal working, and this is how we need it structured. And when you show up to the closing table, there could be a couple surprises, simply because you're not the one who had the actual relationship with the title company that the deal is actually closing with. So once again, do not depend on hedge funds to close all your deals. Continuously to go out there, build your buyers list on a daily basis, okay? Because you don't want to become dependent on someone who may or may not close the deal. You want to know for sure that your buyer can close the deal. And this just goes back to relationships, okay? The best way to build solid relationships is once you get a property under contract, make sure you sure as heck close on it. Because if not, then like he said, the word gets around town. Other REO agents start to talk to their fellow REO agents. Private sellers start to put your name out there in the community as a guy that you shouldn't do business with because you can't follow through with your agreement. All we have in this business is our reputation. So I would say to all you hedge funds out there, and coming from Larry too, probably speaking on my behalf, that you guys got to really understand that we're out here giving up our time. And if you say you want 20, 30 properties a month, then you got to make sure that you're able to follow through on these agreements. You can't put something under contract, waste our time, and hope that, and then you just take the deal, pretty much put it under your control and say, well, the heck with the wholesaler. We got the control of the deal now. We have it under contract. Now we're just going to go by our means and do however we want to do it our way. Well, I'm just going to tell you that, a lot of wholesalers are going to start backing away from you guys. All right, simply because our time is precious, just like your time is precious. And we don't want to feel like we're out there working for nothing, because nothing is for free out here. So if you want to start building these credible relationships as hedge funds with wholesalers who you're going to need in your business, okay, you need us, all right? We actually don't need you guys, because your acquisition managers are still guys that just sit back too as well. They're really not out in the field. They're dependent on guys like us to bring them deals. So guess what? You keep backing out on deals and things of that nature, okay, it's going to be real lack of inventory for you guys, because guys like us are steadily have contacts where we can start fishing these other properties off too. So we just want to make sure that we're taken care of just like you guys are taken care of. So to my viewers, these are some of the cons out there that you have to deal with when dealing with hedge funds. They're not going to close on everything as per se they say they are. Okay, it's just the world that we live in, and I thought that I should bring that to light, that our time is just as valuable as anybody else's out here when we're out here prospecting and stuff like that. And to come back to them at the end of the week and say none of those deals won't work, well, if you put in 40 to 60 hours prospecting for profits, you wasted money in gas, you got your time invested, which is much more valuable than gas.
Can't get that back.
You can't get that back. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, for one more question though, okay, because I get this question a lot. Do you think newbie investors should start, as they're just now getting in the game, learning this wholesale and real estate, do you think that they should start building relationships or go after the hedge funds guys right now when they're just now starting out?
T, to be honest with you, I think that the newbie investor should concentrate on his local market, his or her local market, finding those real cash buyers and those guys that have the potential to close every single deal. Hedge funds, they're too flaky, they're too finicky. You want to make sure that you're dealing with someone who's going to close a deal, who's going to put cash in your hand at the closing table. You're going to get that check. That's what you want. The whole goal of what we're doing is to get paid.
Get paid.
Can you say paid?
Paid.
So you don't want to waste your time dealing with people, number one, who want to waste your time. Secondly, who want a cut of what you're getting just to submit the offer. Oh, yeah, this sounds a little illegal. So don't get yourself caught up in situations like that. We want to make sure that, you know, everybody's out here is profitable. It's enough deals for everybody out here to continue to eat.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, I think that should do it for today. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you, man. You're not going to find content like this anywhere else. Okay? All right? We're testing the waters. All right? We're pushing beyond measures here. But we think it's good for people like you who are interested in possibly forming a relationship with a hedge fund. We're letting you know what it's all about. Make sure that if you do, that your time is well worth it. Okay? Because if not, then you're going to lose out on so much. Okay? The last thing we want to do as newbies is get frustrated, get deterred, get distracted in our business. All right? We want to make sure that we're using all of our valuable time that we do have to implement the strategies that are going to allow us to be successful in this market. Okay? All right? And right here on this blog is where you can find that, and nowhere else. I guarantee you that. Okay? All right, so do me a favor, do yourselves a favor, subscribe to my YouTube channel, click the button above, because you definitely do not want to miss out on any of this explosive, uncut content that is going to allow you to use this stuff in your business, that's going to allow you to be successful. Okay? So once again, this is your boy TJ Hines, Mr. Flipperhouse. All right, if you have any topics, questions, concerns, please keep sending in your inquiries like you always do, and I'll take the time whenever I get around to it to answer those questions live on video. If you have any questions for my man Larry regarding hedge funds, how can they get in contact with you?
813cashhouses@gmail.com.
Okay. Once again, that's 813-cash, as in cash money, houses@gmail.com. 813-cashhouses@gmail.com. And of course, be sure to leave all of your inquiries for me at info@mrflipperhouse.com. And always stop by my blog, because you don't want to miss out on anything that I have to deliver, which is mrflipperhouse.com. Do me a favor and do yourselves another big favor. Get off your butts, get out there and flip some houses.